A national effort to ban books, not to write history, but to erase history. They don't see you in the future of America.
It was President Biden speaking at a historically black college. As NBC rightly points out, Biden pledged to end this uncivil war. Nearly 4 years later, it still rages on. Hugh Hewitt is here, lawyer, law professor, and the most influential talk radio host in America. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Hi, Leland. Thank you for that praise. I appreciate it.
Well, we're fair and accurate here. And to be fair, Biden pledged to end the uncivil war. Nearly 4 years later, it still rages on. The civil war raging on benefits Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Right now, everything is benefiting Donald Trump. I listened to the Morehouse State speech, the one you just played there, Leland. It was more of the mumble shout that we got at the State of the Union. And I do believe that the president's infirmity is increasingly leading him into this spiral of shouting at people and then alternatively getting confused as to the point he was making or messing up on what the prompter would have him say. Many students in the audience turned their back on the president because they're upset with his position on Israel. Many people in the audience were simply confused. I don't know if you have the clip or not. The president said when he was vice president and the COVID times were tough. Of course, he wasn't vice president during COVID. I really do think he's gone from infirmity to incoherence. The next step is incapacity. So Donald Trump is winning simply not by not losing every single day.
Well, a common theme on this show is never underestimate Republicans' ability to screw things up. Something I know that you've talked about often. Thank you. To that end, is Donald Trump missing an opportunity? And I say that with some sound bites in mind, primarily the one from Ronald Reagan in 1984. Take a listen.
It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better. Why would we ever want to return to where we were less than 4 short years ago?
Is Donald Trump missing an opportunity to become more positive and to end the grievance fest, to give middle America a little bit of hope?
Leland, I go back and forth in my head because everything I've ever suggested about Donald Trump, he's done the opposite, and he's always won when I thought he was going to lose, and he lost when I thought he was going to win. I think he has an intuitive sense of where the American middle class is, the great silent majority that he referred to last week, which was a Nixon phrase from 1969, and the former president brought it up on my radio show last week, and he talked about the great silent majority. He intuits which way it is to go, and right now it's not morning in America. Right now it's pretty doggone dark in America. And it's dark because of the divisions, and it's dark because of the crime, and it's dark because the border is not controlled, and it's dark because we have an infirm president who sometimes doesn't even know how to get off the stage. So I think that Donald Trump isn't missing an opportunity so much as he's in court 4 days a week with lawfare hobbling him. When he gets out of that courtroom, I hope he remembers to be as funny as he was in Minnesota. I don't know if you saw that, Leland. It's like a stand-up routine. He's an incredible performer, and it was funny and genuinely so. I think it was much better than the NRA speech, in fact. So when he goes back out on the trail, all he has to do is not lose right now because he's so far ahead, 12 points ahead in Nevada. My goodness, 12 points ahead in Nevada. That's almost an unbelievable number, but it's the New York Times Siena poll, so there must be something behind it. I can only imagine what's going to come out after June 27th, because I think former President Trump is going to dominate that debate. I don't care who moderates it or how long they go, because President Biden has got a capacity problem. And so I expect
that's what Donald Trump is hitting Joe Biden on, right, is the capacity problem, hence talking about the drugs, a drug test, on and on and on, which invariably a number of Republicans echoed exactly what the president said. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.